What's up everybody, my name is Martin and welcome to a new video. Today I am visiting the German cemetery in Lommel, and the reason I wanted to visit the cemetery again, because I've been here before but I never made a video about it, is that this is the biggest German cemetery outside of Germany in Europe. There are short of 40,000 German soldiers buried here, which is just insane to imagine. One of the biggest cemeteries I've been to was an American cemetery with over 8,000 graves, but this is just 40,000 is just unimaginable. So right here is actually the first sign of the cemetery, and yeah, I'm gonna take you on a little tour. So yeah, the location itself is actually pretty nice. It's in the middle of a forest in Belgium. This is the entrance, and now we're going to walk to the cemetery itself. Let's go. There's some terraces on both sides. I'm not going to show you too much for the people who are sitting there. I don't want to bother them too much. It has been raining, so it's a bit wet, but here you can see all the plots. And right over there is the actual entrance to the cemetery itself. You can either choose the left or the right door, I think. And this also shows a little bit of the what is what on the map. As you can put it like that. Alright, let's go. As we walk closer to the entrance, you can see 1939, 1945. Hier gooien Deutsche Soldaten, which means here arrest German soldiers. And this cemetery holds victims both from the First and Second World War. There are about 500 German soldiers from the First World War, and the rest are all of the Second. And the cemetery holds Germans from either the early campaign, such as the invasion of Belgium, France and the Netherlands in May of 1940, all the way up to the end. And there are also victims from the Hurtgenwald campaign here. So as you can see already, there are insane amounts of rows. So I'm going to take you through the gate now. First, let's see what is up the stairs here. And as with the German cemetery in Le Camp, which I also made a video about, they always use this grey kind of stone, which always makes it a really depressing look. Oh my god. This is so big. But compared to some English cemeteries I've been to, this German cemetery is actually really well maintained. It's oftentimes on Belgian cemetery, British cemeteries, the grass is growing wildly, and the graves are covered with green stuff from the trees, but this looks pretty well maintained. So, but this is crazy to imagine that every stone is at least one person. It goes all the way to the back there. Of course, we're going to take a walk over the cemetery in just a little bit, but right here on the top of the entrance it's easy to get a good overview of how immense this cemetery is. So let's go downstairs. I'm going to check out the visitor center down here, and then we're going to walk on the cemetery itself. Let's go. Like I said, you can either choose the left or the right side. Now we take the other stairs, and then we will enter through the gate. This is actually pretty nicely done with mosaic. Again, something with Jesus Christ hanging on the cross and his suffering, of course. I will put in the video what the translation is from this text. Here's another mosaic painting. What do you call it? I don't know. And as you can see, there are just short of 40,000 graves here, but that doesn't mean that there are that many stones or crosses. So as you can see right here, they are buried on both sides. So they use one cross for two Germans. These are mostly fallen around August or September 1944. Over there I see one from 1943. But like I mentioned already, there are also some soldiers here from the early campaigns. So there's actually some right over here from 1940 already. These are from 23rd of May. So the campaign was only going on for 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. And then there was another 5 years of hell for the Europeans coming. But these guys never get to see that. Right here there's a cross from Wilhelm Gerich, who died on 16th of December 1944, probably in the Hertgenwald area. And right over here you can actually see a photo of him. He was such a young guy. And I always think it's special when you can see photos on the graves, because yeah, it gives it a face, but it also means that it makes the person more real, and therefore it's even harder to imagine that there is just a young guy buried there with his entire life in front of him. This is interesting as well, because there's a date of birth there. Born on the 25th of April 1926, but there's no date from when he died. On this side, it's the other way around. But it's also, there's so many nameless graves, like here it says ein deutscher Soldat, which means a German soldier, of course, and there are so many of them. Weren't they either wearing their dog tags, or did they just died due to bombardments, so they couldn't find any identification of them? I don't know. But it's said that there's a body buried here with no name, and it was a person once. The entire cemetery is 16 acres big. I should check what the measurements are from the outside, but yeah, it's so unimaginable big. So this goes on for about maybe 500 meters. Right over there also. And I don't know how far it goes, but it just seems endlessly. Of course you can see the trees all the way in the back, but just walking around here and seeing almost a sea of grey, that's just so strange to see. So the cemetery was established in 1946, I think, and the word German bodies coming from Hendrikkapelle, Vosse, Overrepe, and Neuville and Condros, and they were buried there by the American Battle Monument Commission, or the Grave Registration probably. The Germans from the First World War were buried here. They came from Leopoldsburg. And in 1952 the German Grave Commission from the Volksbund Deutsche Kriegsgrabeversorgungsorge, ik excuse me for that, my German isn't that good, took it over, and ever since they started planting trees, mowing, putting the grass here to make it look what it is today. The stone, which I was talking about from the entrance, is apparently basalt. I don't know if it's the same word in English. And it came from the Eifel region in Germany. And it is, you can see the statues of Johannes and Maria, and are 3.3 meters tall. And the entire structure is about 6 meters high. Right here I came across these German soldiers, and as you can see, he died on the 13th of May 1940, 15th and the 18th. So they are fighting for what, 3, 4, 8 days, and then they lost their lives. Maybe they went to Poland in September of 1939. But for them the war came to an end very abruptly, and never get the chance to grow old. And right here I came by 2 stones which don't have any names on them at all. So is that because there is nobody buried here, or is that because, and right over there actually is another one, because the bodies were dug up and brought back to Germany to be with their relatives, or have they never been able to identify them? I don't know. I just did some counting, and right here you can see this is plot 35. It's 40 graves wide and 8 long, so that makes 320 stones times 2. That makes 640 people who are buried in one plot. And like I mentioned already, these are just taking it big to 20,000 graves, just short of 20,000 graves on this cemetery, and it's absolutely huge. And just trying to imagine that there are short of 40,000 people buried here, so the cemetery would have been twice as big, cemetery where every soldier had his own headstone. Okay, right now I'm going to trying to find out where the First World War soldiers are buried. So as soon as I find that out, we come back. We had to walk all the way back from the entrance of the cemetery till here, but this is the part where the First World War soldiers are buried. So you can see, this is 1919, 1914, 1914, 14, 1918. And it seems that these stones are just a little bit different from the others. I think that this is more like more gravel used in the stones. I'll show you what I mean in a little bit. So this has way more gravel in it. And for example, this is Second World War again. These look a bit more, smooth, as you can say. As far as stone is smooth, of course, but well, what I mentioned before, 640 people in one plot, so these are just a little bit less. Right here there's a photograph of the German. You can see another photo. Looks like he was in the Navy. I'm not too sure because I'm not really home in German First World War uniforms, but yeah, he looks still so young. Speaking of young, I just learned that there are about 1,200 child soldiers are buried here. So ages ranging from, I don't know, 13 maybe till 18. I saw some headstones with date of birth 1927 and died in 1944, so that makes 17 if I'm not mistaken. But there were just a few. But yeah, it's insane. It makes you speechless. So another interesting nameplate that I saw was this one, and it says born on 000, because apparently they couldn't find his date of birth. And as I showed before, here is a an empty name again, and the man from the bar told me that there are also some let's say famous German soldiers buried here, and sadly some idiot people thought it necessary to come here as neo-Nazis and salute the graves with the Hitler greed. Thank God they were picked up by the police and prosecuted. Yeah, I can't imagine that people are so disrespectful to do such a thing. In a bit there will be a little bit about some mass graves which I found. and I'm going to jump in the future a little bit, because the man from the bar also told me that the biggest mass grave on this cemetery is 9 people in one grave, and there are 20,000 headstones here. So I don't think I will be able to find the grave with the 9 people in it, but just a bit. There will be some graves with 2 or 3 soldiers buried in it. I wanted to show you this, and right over there I saw another one, but here are 3 persons buried in one grave, and right over there there's another grave with 2 soldiers in it. So not every soldier had his own headstone. Some are sharing graves. I don't know why they did that. Let me know down in the comments, because I'm curious to learn about that. But yeah, that gives you an idea that there are more people under one headstone in certain ways than other times. Also, one thing that I forgot to mention is that there are 15 nationalities are buried here, so that makes not only German soldiers, but also most likely some Dutch, some Belgians, France, some Eastern European guys that joined the SS, most likely, that are also buried here. But that gives you an idea how big possibility was to join the German army and fight for the Germans. 15 nationalities from almost every European country. There were soldiers fighting for the Germans. One of the several photos that I saw already on the graves, this one points out, because this is a older woman and a young child, and most likely it's the mother and the sister, probably, because the person that is buried here wasn't that old, so it's hard to imagine that it would be his daughter. But interesting to see this photo as well here. One of the many interesting stories is from Mina Walter, and she was a nurse during the Second World War, and she died on the age of 22. She was sick as a child, and she was destined to go help people after she was old enough. So first she was sent to Russia, and that's why she got the Krim Shield and the Ostmedaille. And from November 1942 she was sent to the Western Front, to Belgium, to take care of the wounded. And she was able to help many people, but as it is, she died during a funeral by a bomb attack. So yeah, trying to help people, and then you die during the burial of somebody else. Okay, so that was our visit to the German cemetery in Lommel. Yeah, as I mentioned already, it is so unimaginable to see that many graves and knowing that there are buried so many people here. It just makes you think a lot. So yeah, places like this always make me a little bit emotional, because you know that there were just young people like 18, 19 years old. Some of course were older, but in this case also younger, because I was amazed that there were so many child soldiers buried here. But yeah, walking around here, especially on a day like today, because the weather is nice, the birds are chirping, and it's really quiet in this area. There are also a lot of trees around here, so that is very interesting. But yeah, as always, I try to get some more information along the way, and learning about the cemetery while walking around there is it just makes it more special, because you get to learn things that you didn't know before. It's interesting. If you ever want to visit this location, the cemetery, it's located in Lommel, just over the border in Belgium. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna put the link from the cemetery down below in the comment. If you have any questions, you can also find it down below in the comment. If you got something out of this video, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I want to give you a big thanks for watching. See you around, bye bye.
I hear the